Hey guys, Levelcap here, and this week in gaming, Gamescom will be huge for Battlefield fans. Call of Duty Vanguard's marketing is weird, Cyberpunk's latest update was bigger than expected, and much more. DICE are probably planning a big reveal for Battlefield 2042 at Gamescom next week. To date, they've shown gameplay of the core multiplayer experience, All Out Warfare. We've also gotten snippets of gameplay from the Portal custom game mode, but Hazard Zone is still entirely under wraps. The recent short film Exodus set up the events behind the game's backstory and served as a hint about what players will do in Hazard Zone. The characters mention having to recover a crashed satellite in Doha, Qatar. That's the location of 2042's Hourglass map. Since then, data miner Temporeal has discovered several files in the 2042 technical playtest build related to Hazard Zone. According to him, it's a hybrid of Hunt Showdown and Escape from Tarkov. Players will drop into a map with a set of objectives to accomplish. Hostile AI soldiers will roam the map, serving as resistance to players and as mini objectives as well. Temporeal hasn't explained the PvP mechanics of Hazard Zone, but DICE describe it as a high-stakes squad-based mode. Temporeal has found evidence of loadout insurance and respawn systems, so it sounds like there will be a big emphasis on staying alive during a match. As for why we expect a Hazard Zone reveal at Gamescom, it's pretty much tradition for DICE to reveal gameplay of their new titles at the convention. They've done it for almost every past Battlefield, and all signs point to Hazard Zone as the next big reveal. The Exodus short film was practically an ad for the mode as well. Really, Hazard Zone is the last piece of the Battlefield 2042 puzzle, and Gamescom is the only major gaming convention between now and when 2042 launches. So personally, I'm expecting a Hazard Zone reveal. DICE is also likely to announce beta dates for 2042 at Gamescom. We know that there will be a beta next month, but we're just not sure when. Pre-order customers and EA Play subscribers will get early beta access during closed sessions. And I gotta say, it's a pretty exciting time to be a Battlefield fan. Despite the alleged performance issues and bugs with the recent technical playtest, it seems like DICE are on track to release a groundbreaking entry in the franchise. Fingers crossed the beta leaves a good first impression on all players. Call of Duty Vanguard was revealed, and while it mostly aligned with the rumors and expectations leading up to the official trailer, one interesting thing stood out about the game's marketing. The official Call of Duty Twitter account made two posts advertising Vanguard will offer a new PC anti-cheat system. To say it's unprecedented for a developer to use their anti-cheat solution as a marketing point would be seriously understating things. The outrage over Warzone's lack of effective anti-cheat has been bubbling over for nearly a year at this point. Many players and content creators alike have abandoned the Battle Royale out of frustration. Despite banning hundreds of thousands of cheaters and making it harder to buy new accounts, Call of Duty's developers have failed to make a substantial impact on the cheating epidemic in their games. Advertising a new anti-cheat system for their upcoming game hopefully means that they're taking things extremely seriously. Vanguard's new anti-cheat system is being implemented with Warzone when the two games are integrated. Unfortunately, it doesn't sound like that will happen at launch on November 5th. The game's marketing surrounding the Warzone integration highlights a brand new map and continued support for existing content, but it doesn't confirm the integration is happening at launch or even when players can expect that integration to happen. Another interesting point is that the Activision logo is nowhere in Vanguard's trailer or associated marketing. They officially explained it as a creative choice that reflects how Vanguard represents the next major installment in the franchise, but it's pretty obvious that Activision's name is deeply unpopular given the workplace harassment lawsuit that they're currently facing. Overall, the Vanguard reveal is a very mixed bag. Sledgehammer Games are developing it, and their track record with the franchise is, well, kinda mediocre. Warzone is in a rough state. There's serious competition from the likes of Battlefield and Halo, which are pushing a more modern aesthetic and setting. Opinions are very divided about Vanguard, and we're curious to hear what you think. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Halo Infinite will not launch with the franchise's typical co-op campaign or Forge modes. 343 announced this in a development update video. The co-op campaign is planned for the game's Season 2 update. Forge is planned for Season 3. Each season will be about 3 months, which means the co-op campaign will probably launch in early 2022. Obviously, this is a big disappointment for people used to playing through the Halo campaigns with a buddy. Cyberpunk 2077's 1.3 update is a lot more significant than the original patch notes let on. Pretty much every mod for the game broke with 1.3. Both modders and data miners dug into the update to figure out what changed exactly, and it turns out the answer is, well, pretty much everything. CD Projekt Red have rewritten huge chunks of the game's engine for this update, and considering the depth of the game's overall problems, that's honestly not that unexpected, but it's a good sign that real progress is being made. Another good sign is that data miners discovered multiplayer is back in development. CD Projekt Red indefinitely delayed the game's original multiplayer experience back in March. This original multiplayer mode was referred to as Cyberpunk Online in the game's files. Since launch, references to this mode have been sprinkled in the game's files, but the 1.3 update removed them. Data miners have found a new string for the mode that calls it multi. This seems like a major revamp of the game's multiplayer project, as developers don't often rename major features unless there's been a change in direction. Cyberpunk's multiplayer will probably launch after its second paid DLC expansion sometime next year. It was a big week for Bethesda and id Software. They revealed a proper remaster of Quake 1, Doom Eternal's 6.66 update was announced, and Skyrim is getting yet another release that adds, well, fishing. Quake fans are praising the remaster, which was developed by Night Dive Studios and features an expansion by Wolfenstein devs Machine Games. It adds modern accessibility to the classic game while updating its visuals without ruining the original art. The Doom Eternal update is launching this autumn. It adds Horde mode, a battle mode matchmaking overhaul, and new master levels. Horde mode replaces the invasion system that was going to add PvP combat to the game's campaign. Id had scrapped that system because of delays caused by the pandemic. Finally, the new Skyrim Anniversary Edition is launching on November 11th. It includes all of the game's expansion and 500 Creation Club mods that add all sorts of new weapons, spells, quest bosses, fishing, and more. Destiny 2's ammo system is getting a major overhaul. Primary weapons will have infinite ammo starting next season. Some minor balance changes are being made to account for this change that debuff certain perks. The next season launches on the 24th. Digital Foundry got hands-on time with the Crysis 3 remaster running on a Nintendo Switch. They say it's a major upgrade from the original version of the game and runs at a solid 30 FPS on Nintendo's portable console. The whole Crysis trilogy is getting a remaster following the launch of Crysis 1 Remastered. The PC versions of Crysis 2 and 3 are still benchmarks for visual quality and demanding performance, but console players have been stuck with inferior versions for a very long time. These remasters will offer massively improved performance and visuals on last and current gen consoles. Before we get to our final story of this week, I wanted to say thanks for tuning in. We'll have complete coverage of all the Gamescom Battlefield 2042 news, so stay tuned for that. Saints Row is getting a reboot. The cult classic third-person action franchise has made a name for itself as the Grand Theft Auto but crazier series over the years. Saints Row III recently got a remaster that was a complete remake and hinted at future games in development. The developers are now teasing a reboot to be revealed at Gamescom. It's unclear if the reboot is a sequel or a total reimagining of the entire franchise. Saints Row 4 got its final expansion back in 2015. The devs teased a new game was in the works during their 2019 financial report, but this is the first public teaser we've gotten for the 5th game. And that wraps it up for This Week in Gaming. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.